Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today's title is living for God and not other people. And to be honest, I'm even a victim of this myself. I can't stand around and say like, hey, yeah, you should stop doing this, you should stop doing this. And I personally do it. Do I even do this this day? Well, I even used to do it. I can't remember so vividly. I literally used to do it. So, I think this video is gonna do really positive, and I'm gonna speak to some people out there because I think it's a big issue. Like, it was a big part of my life, and I feel like if it's a big part of my life, it's a big part of everyone's life. And at every stage in someone's life, you definitely people pleased in one way or another, or you've lived for people and not God. I want to say, so this is gonna be like a two-part series. So this is gonna be on like the importance of living for God and not others, and then my next video will be about living for what am I talking about? My next video will be about how to stop people pleasing and the active steps that you can take, essentially. So let's get into it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Stop trying to people please and try to please God instead. And now you may be asking, what exactly is people pleasing? Like, it could mean anything, right? Making someone happy? Is that it? Giving something to charity so that people are happy? But people pleasing is the act of living for the approval or validation of others instead of the approval and validation of God. And now, people pleasing at first does sound positive. Like, you're doing everything right. People are accepting you, you're helping them, you're extending your arm towards them, you're being generous, you're volunteering your time, your money. Like, it all seems very, very positive at first. And it looks like you're doing everything right. And as I said, people are just accepting you. And like, I think a personal example for me is when I used to do other people's homework. Like, I thought I was doing something good for them, and I was like, oh wow, this is amazing. I'm making sure you stay on task, I'm on task. Like, it's really amazing. But it can become extremely unhealthy when you prioritize it over God. It can lead to obsession, not the movie, control, anxiety, actually even obsession. Hold on a minute, I'm actually onto something. Sorry. It can actually lead to a really deep obsession with someone or people. Like, it can lead to control, anxiety. Sorry about that. I just had a light bulb moment, if you know. These are the kind of things it can lead to, and it's really unhealthy. Like, for me, when I was doing people's homework, if I don't do it, it's like, oh man, are they gonna like me? Oh, I need to do it. I don't want to let them down. I can't say no. I just can't say no. And I think that's where it stems from. But essentially, true freedom comes from when we seek the approval of God first, and then we allow our love for others to flow from our obedience to Him. That's actually pretty good. sorry. Can't be reflecting on my own notes, bro. Sorry. But we are supposed to be kind to others. For example, we are supposed to volunteer our time towards others, like help brother in need, donate to charity, just do what we're supposed to do. Like, it matters on our emphasis on who are we really pleasing at the end of the day. Like, Matthew 16:26 covers this nicely. What good is it for a man to gain the whole world yet forfeit his soul? It's our duty to glorify God first in all things, and we must continually renew our mind towards knowing God better. Because when we shift our focus onto Him and not people, we'll care more about pleasing Him than pleasing others. And like I said before, we are called to treat others with love and compassion, but also guide others, especially believers, towards lives that glorify God. Now, treating people with love and compassion, it may look like, oh, you're in need, you need something, I can help you. But when it becomes like I have to do it, like, God doesn't matter, God, I just have to do it, And I think I may get onto like, how do you discern, essentially. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I'll do that. And one thing is, whether you eat or drink, do all for the glory of God. When you're doing these acts, are you doing it for the glory of God or for the glory of man? I kind of just spoke into existence. I was trying to figure out how to discern. I think this is it. Are you doing it for the glory of God or for the glory of man? Because God knows your heart at the end of the day. When you're doing someone's homework, are you doing it for God's glory or their glory? And now, don't get me wrong, it's fine to be concerned with people's interests, but not when it comes at the cost of pleasing God's. Like Galatians 1:10 summarizes this so well. For I am now seeking the approval of man or of God. Or am I trying to please man? If I was still trying to please man, I would not be a servant of Christ. You know? Like there's been so many times where I've pleased man, over God. I'm trying to think. The biggest one I can think of once again is just homework, or even saying stuff like, "Oh my goodness, I like this so that you can accept me." That's a very big one. I like this so that you can accept me, and it's just like where does it get you in the end? Because you're trying to pretend to be someone that you're not. Now, I've struggled with this so much. Trying to say I like this just so I can win the approval of people, and it doesn't get me anywhere in the end. Like it kind of like leaves you feeling dry a bit because you're like, I don't like this, but they do, and I'm trying to fit in. And remember, God doesn't call us to fit in; He calls us to stand out. We're the salt of the earth. We're here to disrupt. We're the light. Once light shines into darkness, the darkness is no more. So I got to think of it. Where has it really gotten me? And I'm trying to think like right now, off the top of my head, but it hasn't really gotten me anywhere I can think of. Like, in fact, the only thing I can think of is that it's just maybe mentally tired. You could always be on edge. You might not even be confident in yourself. You might even be scared and drained because you're so consumed over what do these people think of me, or how do I win their approval, or what can I do for them? Like, is that what you really, really want for yourself? You're gonna want to live a life that's carefree, no worries, you're not on edge, none of that. And now, don't get me wrong, once again, everyone's had this, even myself. Like I've had so many moments of this, and you could probably think off the top of your head moments where you've tried to do it. And think of yourself. I think this is a really good example as well. Like, how many times have we not shared the gospel in fear of what others have said? Like, for me, many times. Like, oh, what are they gonna say? Oh, what's gonna happen? Like, do I need to? Like, isn't it now the right time? Like, I know I have. I am extremely guilty of this. If I wasn't, then I would definitely be a hypocrite. But we should remember, God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and peace, or sound mind, depending on the translation. We shouldn't focus on helping others when we can't even help ourselves. Remember what the Bible says about planks and specks. If you have a plank out of your own eye and you want to correct your brother about his plank, why don't you remove the speck or plank from your own eye first? Remember, you're never going to be fully satisfied while going out for pleasing man. Like, it's a constant dopamine chase. And they may not even have your best interests, and they are the ones that are literally anchoring you down. And when we fear others, whether what they'll do to us or their opinions of us, like, we show a lack of focus and a trust in God. We've got to remember, true safety, value, and validation comes from God. Because like I said before, once we get our love and obedience from Him, then we're able to pour out our love towards other people with the gift of discernment to decipher who needs it, who don't, doesn't. And the example that Christ gave us is the perfect example of living a life as testimonies for God and not man. Like, come on, don't get me wrong, there's going to be decisions we have to make that aren't pleasing to people, especially friends, families, and those that are just closest to us. But remember, we can't always please God and people, and as humans, not every need and want is going to be met. But we must remember the God that we serve and whatever He says is going to pass and will come to pass. And I want to touch upon the not every need is going to be met, because for some people, like, once they have that reality check, it's like, what am I actually doing? Because maybe humans have so much wants and needs, like so much things that we want, and you're not going to be able to meet every single one of that. If you were, then I guess you'd be God. It's like humans have their needs, like, oh, I need a new car, I need a new job, my hair, makeup, I need to eat, I need my food, oh, is my job good, is my friends like, what's going on here, what's going on there? There's so many things that we stress about on a daily basis as human beings. So once you come to the realization that not every need is going to be met, you stop trying so hard, and you maybe focus on the simple things that don't take so much of your time and so much of your mental health, but just enough to the point where, they're satisfied, you're satisfied, and you're like, okay, I don't need to do more. And I've done this for for God's glory, and so that they're happy, essentially. And we shouldn't also, going back to the point, we shouldn't treat people as idols and make them the standard of how we live our lives. Because we gotta remember, it's our life, not theirs. And Jesus does call us to be selfless, okay? Like, we're supposed to give our time towards others. We shouldn't make it to the point where the others are our idols instead of God, because then we're gonna treat them, we're gonna put them high up. It's like our needs and wants, satisfy, and they shouldn't be the standard on how we live our lives. God should be the standard on how we live our lives. Because once we start to live for the standard of man, then really, what are we chasing? Are we chasing empty pursuits? Or are we chasing the glory of God? And I think as well, people pleasing is rooted in insecurity and deep need for validation. I definitely do agree with that. Sorry, little side note. I just read it, and then I just nodded in agreement with myself. Makes sense, right? Makes sense. But as I said, people pleasing has like a deep need for validation. Like, you need to fit in, or you have to be with them. And now, it really does keep you trapped within yourself. Like, you're literally unable to truly fulfill your full potential, because you're like, what do they think? What do they think? Am I doing things right? Am I helping them? Am I serving them? Instead of going to God to help us achieve our full potential, and then He will then lead us to the people that are supposed to be in our lives. There's times where we keep our mouth shut, when we should speak out. Maybe we'll threaten, maybe you might be threatened to voice your opinions, but we gotta remember, the God that we serve is greater than all of these things. And the first step, as with any step with taking away sin, is just to find freedom in Jesus. Confess it. Like God says, whenever you confess your sins to man, He's faithful and just to forgive them. So find someone, like a proper trustworthy Christian source, someone that you can confide in, and ask God and them to help you, give you wisdom, ask for God's forgiveness, and repent. Not like say, sorry God. No, actively try and turn away. And, we'll help you turn away in the... It's not going to be the next video, but whenever the part 2 comes out on how to stop. But once again, just seek God first, seek the kingdom and His righteousness, and then all of these should be added to you. All of these friends, all of these people will be added to you, but you just have to seek Him first. Because when we do it, we are less prone to people pleasing when we accurately understand God's character and His demeanor toward His children. And remember to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Continually be transformed by the word, by your prayer life, all of these different things. And do not be conformed to the ways of this world, because the ways of this world will want to drag you down to such a low depth, to the point where you might even forget who you really are. But that's not what God calls you to be. God calls you for something greater than on this world. Like I said before, we are the light. We're lights for Christ. We're the salt of the earth. Remember, salt disrupts. It gives flavor. Something's too sweet, add a bit of salt, you've got the perfect flavor. That's who we are meant to be in Christ Jesus. We're ambassadors for His throne and His glory. So we shouldn't worry about the opinion of man when we have the opinion of God. Because at the end of the day, it is literally at the end of the day, it is us and God, not us, man, and God. So yeah, like I said, this advice applies to me because there's aspects in my life where I want to fit in with some people, and I gotta make sure that I rectify it. And as I even say this, I have to just turn away. And I need to even ask God to search my heart, because look, as with you, as with me, I sin, you sin. So yeah, it's probably somewhere or another where I'm doing what I'm saying. So this isn't me saying I'm so righteous, guys. Like, you guys have to stop this. You just need to stop. Like I know I'm up there, but you guys are still down like that. I'm a Christian, you're a Christian. I'm a human, you're a human. We're all the same here. No one's bigger than the other guys, apart from the man above. And I just want to leave you with just a little quote that, I always use this, but with people pleasing, with trying to fit in, when we live for people's approval, we will die by their rejection.